That is my African personality, and these are my people, and that's how they become free to tell their stories with me.
Yeah.
Now, when TV has actually trained me even more, that I'm in position to understand the plight even deeper. I've traveled this country from the different lens, health, politics, and all, to appreciate what we are as a nation. And weigh the decisions that be, and question that needs to be questioned, and ask and seek answers where they need to be asked. But above all, is to empower the layman, omuntu wawansi, to understand their role in what we're doing. It's imperative they understand the power they hold, but it's equally imperative they understand their duty.
So you've talked about, like, on a personal level, what you feel needs to be done, people need to do.
Yeah.
Invest in themselves,
Yes.
empower themselves, educate themselves,
Yes.
lift yourself out of whatever situation you find
Yes,
yourself
yes.
in. But when you look at our society today,
Yes.
like we were just talking about the NSSF Friends with Benefits,
Yeah.
which ended.
It was
so
good.
powerful in terms of what we learned from it. And you're saying you wanted to see more shows like that. What is missing?
What is
in
missing?
your opinion?
We don't have. Our media is lamenting.
Okay.
If you watch news, you get depressed.
Is this true?
Batano Bafu, 20 are decapitated, landslides here. There is nothing we are running that is relieving our minds and telling us what we need to do. And some media houses, when they're running news, they don't have what they call light stories to make someone, okay, if I was depressed for the first 5 stories, the last one should make me a little bit light.
Yeah.
No. They are all ending with a punch. You gotta
True,
create
there are no
laws.
feel good stories at all.
Zero good stories. Then secondly, when it comes to the good stories that have to be amplified, when they're amplified, guess what? What it did? You're with the government. What do I NRM? So we have what we call pedestrian thinking and politicizing each and everything. Now this has messed up our media. We need more campaigns, more online engagement of how we can be a part of the big cause, of how someone can get 20 million Ugandan shilling from Friends with Benefit and give the value to the community where they come from. You don't need to be on a national scale that, oh, Kyamagero is praised for doing this and this from your community. Start with the simple things you see around yourself. What have you done for your community? There are thugs in your place. Have you taken time to appreciate the level of unemployment there? Many of us, we stay in Kampala and we don't wish to actually go and invest in our rural areas. But guess what? The government policy gives us the latitude to start up health centers. So if someone has like 30 million and you're in Kampala, you can go maybe in Chanamukaka and you start up a health center, a simple, with the word Edwalido. You get a gynecologist, you get a pediatrician, you get a general doctor and a front desk. Those are 4 people. You employ them. People in Africa, they spend on 2 things without questioning. That's food and health. So guess what? In Chanamukaka, you're one Dwaliro and you refer people to Masaka Main Hospital. Means this whole community is going to depend on this hospital. Over time, your business will be scaling up. You're getting money, you're in Kampala, you're impacting your society. If we learn to impact people in our community, we are going to have issues when we fall sick and we are retiring from those areas. So we need canvases, we need business canvases that can show people how can we change our communities from where we are. If it's a question of water, in Kampala, can you lobby? Can you go to Davis and Chatfield and tell them, look, among your CSR, please consider my community. We just need 1 borehole. It can service 12 villages. Can you lobby and you come to NGOs that are dealing with water? Can we use the skills we have and the opportunities that be within our reach to lobby for our areas? But guess what? When someone tries to do that, the politicians, they say, agenda kwesimbao, utter nonsense. We all need to see things from a different scale. I can add value to my nation by just not being in politics. I can empower the people on ground. If it's the youth, have you organized them? Okay, they all went to senior secondary school and they graduated with a USCE. So what next?
If you see that they're idle and they're not doing anything, can you link
Can-
them up with skills.
Can you
or-
do something? Even if they're in a village
Whatever
like
you
in
can.
Kachiri, you look at what best can they do. They're bricklayers. Okay, can we have a circle of bricklayers in Kachiri? Now, me, I'm going to look for the market. So, Crystal wants to build a house in Kachiri. Crystal, talk to me. I have bricks. So you come, you buy bricks from me, and these boys are getting money.
Yeah.
Can we find programs that can show us the leakages that be? Because the youth are ready to work, but they lack leadership from the grassroots.
Yeah.
So that's how I perceive everything that's going on in our society.
Okay. I mean, it takes me back to like you were saying when even your own family, if they
Yeah.
have a meeting, but they don't feel they need anything from you, then you also have to ask yourself,
Because
how
they
are you
don't
making
trust.
an impact in other people's lives?
They don't. Many family circles that have started, most of them have failed because people are not living to their trust when it comes to finances. People have no financial discipline. You'll start a circle with your girls. Today they will deposit. After 4 months, they will fall out. You'll start investment club. Someone will borrow money. It will take them ages to pay back. And this is because we don't have financial discipline.
Yeah.
But if there are clear structures and tools to be used and used as a yardstick to measure and assess the progress or the backlog, in position to make the needs we need.
Okay. Okay, so coming from, such a rough time together as a couple, like you said, you hadn't yet gotten officially married.
Yeah.
You lost your baby.
Oh man, I'm married.
But now you are. Actually,
Jesus.
you had a very interesting wedding. Whose idea was it?
It was my wife's.
Really?
She told me never to she will not introduce me unless we've been together for 10 years. And she won't get married unless we're together for 10 years. If we can be together for 10 years, then we can be together for life.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a bit challenging on my side. The times where I felt like I have enough money, I have contacts, you can do this. She said no. And she said a wedding has to be unique. So me and her will have a lot of the Romans.
Yes.
Why? Because Romans have this drive. Like if they're going in any battle, they go for blood, they go for winning, they go for crowns. So they don't give up, no matter what the case is. If you're falling in the battle, fall to the direction we're heading. So that's their drive. Now we love them so much. So she picked her dress from the Greek goddess of prosperity and wealth and childbirth. That's her dress. She chose it, and Nita Beryl gave it the touch it needed. When it came to me, she said, "You're not a gladiator, you're not going to go to war, but you're Senate. You think for the population, so you wear like the Senate." So that's it. So the gladiators will wear like they are. So
no, it was so cool. I mean, even your entourage, everyone was part
Yeah.
of the whole Roman theme.
It was simple because we wanted people we knew. And her yardstick of everyone was invited. She said, let's get people we can trust. Someone you can hug will come to our wedding. And our number was 102 people, and we achieved it.
And it
Only.
was
Simple. But for my Bantuba ones, we were live on Facebook, so they watched it.
no, but that's so different.
I
It's
know.
so different because you know how the culture is, especially when it comes to weddings here. The numbers, the
Yeah.
pomp,
Yeah.
the glitz.
Yeah.
It was very different.
But my dad allowed me to do my own wedding. I chose not to go to church. I went for a civil wedding. It was financially viable, 1. 2, it was appropriate with my schedule. You book a day, 21 days, and it's good. I don't know why people don't go for civil weddings. Because the process, I appreciate it. Let me tell you about it. So if you're going to get married in civil wedding, once you apply,
yeah.
your name is there, Kyamagero and Linda. You apply for 21 days. The government, through the UBOS, they start to search about you. So they will go in lands. Remember, they're the one who register business. So they will see in the land board how many titles have your name and how many titles have Linda's name. How many business have your name? How many business have Linda's name? So they would ask you, do you know all the land titles Kyamagero has?
There's full disclosure.
So you say, I know this, I know this, I know this. They said, do you know this land? I don't know about it. So they want you to know everything each one of you has. 2, if you have A baby mama, they'll ask her to come. And they talk to her. Kyamagero is getting married to Linda. Do you have any objection? What are your demands? They need to know. If the baby mama is not okay with it, you can't get married. What are your demands? They need to know. If the baby mama is not okay with it, you can't get married.
Wow.
So they need
Most
to
people
be.
think it's the simplest.
No, it's not as those 21 days. The government will say, now you've given us the tenacity to go about this. We are going to tap your conversations on phone. So if you're sending some money to some channel, they will know there is this channel. If you're sending some emails to some guy, they will know. The idea is government is trying to handle the issue of divorce at an early stage and the property fragmentation when you're dead.
Yeah.
So they will ask you if you have any other kid. If that kid is there, this kid is going to be involved in this.
Yes.
And you'll sign a paper confirming that you'll take care of this kid until when they're of age. If the kid is very young, you're going to give help to that mother. If that mother says it's okay, they can get married as long as I get A, B, C, D, E, you agree, you are paying a signature on that. Secondly, the beauty about it is that you don't have, there are no lies. What you declare before marriage, if I get any stray kid after that, that kid is not entitled to any of my wealth that I registered when I was getting married to Linda, or when I was
Really?
marrying. Yes,
Okay.
because that's a different story.
Yes.
So when it comes under your will, you must be specific what property. So that means I have to work extremely hard to get another property for this kid, not to cause mess up that side. You see, now that's the difference we have. The beauty,
That is amazing. I did not know all
the
that.
beauty of the process is that they will actually search around the entire nation. And if I have ever visited any girl's family about me showing the intentions of marriage, they will halt it. They will call that family. From the district level, they have agents there. And these agents will actually come and they will say Kyamagero has a relationship somewhere in Kotido. He can get married. So what this process does, it clears any would-be suitors whatsoever. Done, covered, gone. So you're safe in your marriage.
That's good. That's actually
If
really
any
good.
girl tries to say, you see, this is what happens, Crystal. Some people get married in churches that are not registered or mosques. So one girl in Kampala who is brilliant will just get this guy, put him on a power play of love and affection, and take him on the 4th floor of Georgia House, and we say, you just come with a friend with a national ID, they will sign. Before you know, when your guy dies, it's a different woman with property.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to risk. I've been with this girl through quite a lot, and I don't want it to in any way be misrepresented.
Yeah.
I had to protect her, so I protected her legally, I protected her among my friends and family, and above all, I protect her every day.
Like you said before, you have to be intentional.
Absolutely, you have to be intentional, because if you're not intentional,
Yeah.
you're having a misguided approach to whatever you're trying to do. There is what we call red work and blue work. Now, red work, it's planning. At times, even people here in Uganda, when they start business, they just say, "Ngenda kola saloon nitaga bala bana," and it's not planned. It's blue work. Along the way, it gets messy, and saloon yanema because they didn't have the red work. Now, may I have the red work of what I have to do, how, and the timelines of how I'm going to do it. So I had to choose that kind of marriage, and it worked for me. Oh Lord, I'm so grateful.
Well, I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for coming on the show,
Man.
for sharing. You know, they say that your partner determines a lot about where you're heading in life.
Yeah, sure.
And just from the moment you met her, the
Yeah.
fact that you asked him,
You have to be intentional, but above all, you have to pray extremely hard. The more you grow older, the more challenges they actually come.
yeah,
And I'll say this to the men out there: if you have a stray kid, pronounce that kid now. If you don't try to get one. It's a lot of emotional baggage that kills most men at an older age.
yeah,
When these kids come in the picture and there is a lot of emotional imbalance, you have to prove to them that you actually love them, yet you have your real kids from your wife. So
and then they have to also find
yeah,
their
they have
place.
to find their space. It gets heavy on you. You're old. Everything seems to. So everything you've worked so hard to keep together starts to fall apart because of what? So I pray and I beseech you as an African man, an African liberal man, please stay faithful to your partners. That is one. And above all, please don't have stray children. Last but not least, respect your wife, listen to them, and try not to love them. Understand them.
Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And for speaking to the men.
Oh, God.
Pleasure.
This is good. I'm so grateful for the chance to talk to the next generation.
Yeah.
This has a digital footprint. My son will find it, and maybe my grandchildren will find it. And they'll learn one or two things about it.
About you,
And
probably that they
of course.
will
But
never
to the
learn
men,
otherwise.
we should stay away from lamenting. We should put our sleeves up and we start to work hard as much as we can. If you're sleeping, ask yourself what is someone of your age in Singapore, in Kuala Lumpur, in America doing. They have, yes, a lot of avenues, but we have land in Uganda. You can say you don't have land. I'll tell you what, there is land for hire in Uganda. And per season, it's 200K,
Yeah.
200,000. So you can start something, you can start somewhere. Look in your phone, see who you can call, not to ask for money. What can you do with them? What projects are they working on? Can you plug into? Have this drive that every day you must learn something, and learn that and make sure it goes to other people. If we can have that drive, if we can, I feel there is a lot to do, but it starts with us. It starts with us doing something. Back what you call. Stop lamenting. Stop crying. Utter nonsense. Back what you call. You have your hands. You have your legs. You can speak. Walk to someone. If you're border chap and you're watching a one-on-one with Crystal, listen. The chapatis you're making for a small business, can you scale it up?
Yeah.
How many supermarkets are in your area? Can you supply them? How many schools are in your area? Can you supply the canteens? How many restaurants are in your area? Can you choose to say, I'm supplying this restaurant 100 chapatis and these ones 100 and these ones 50. Then at my stall, I remain with 50. You're making more money.
Yeah.
Can we try to scale our minds beyond the usual? No more bores me.
Yes.
Let's try to shoot beyond what we see with light.